New York Attorney General Letitia James's war on Donald Trump, if you will, continues as she announces she's prepared to seize some of former President Trump's buildings, if he cannot pay his $355 million civil fraud fine.
This as Trump hits the campaign trail in South Carolina, competing for voters' attention with Nikki Haley as the two hold events in the same South Carolina city. It's getting interesting and exciting. Mahek Cook is a Republican strategist. She joins us now. Bill Caruso is a Democratic strategist. Melanie Collette here in studio, former vice chair of the New Jersey Federation of Republican Women. All right, welcome everyone. Political panel, thanks for coming on today. Mahek, let me start with you. That sound that we had heard and played for our viewers this show from the Attorney General willing to go after Trump's buildings. 40 Wall Street was mentioned. She sounds serious if he can't pay back this fine.
She does sound serious, but again, this is that political witch hunt and political hit job against President Trump. There's something called due process, and I don't think this Attorney General, Letitia James, understands not only the decorum when you're supposed to be an attorney, but then also how to conduct yourself once you have a verdict. There's something called an appeals process that President Trump's attorneys have made very clear. I fully expect that there will be a full appeal of this judgment. This has been a multi-year political witch hunt to take down Donald Trump, and we don't have to watch this today. We didn't have to be in the courtroom to know that there was no crime committed, and banks have already been repaid. There are no victims. So for Letitia James to come out and now try and take down his businesses, she's just showing all the American people who she is. When she ran in 2018, this was her stump speech that she wanted to take down President Trump. She is trying to continue down that path. And look, this is a huge red flag. I've already seen a ton of business owners saying, we're getting out of New York. If we're going to be targeted for our political opinions, or if we're on the wrong side of a attorney general like Letitia, our business could be next. So this doesn't surprise me, but at the same time, I fully expect an appeal and President Trump to prevail in this.
That narrative is out there that she is, again, targeting Trump. She's targeting Trump's businesses. Bill Caruso, I wanted to go to you on this one. In terms of the narrative, albeit true, or maybe you believe that it's not, that she's out to get Trump, or even though she stated it. But does that help her when she admits, I'm going to come after his assets if he does not pay up, when there has been no indication that he doesn't have the ability to pay, or that he would not comply with the ruling that he would not pay? He has a certain window. She could have easily declined the question and says, there's been no indication that he's not going to pay. I don't intend to have to make any decisions like that. But even going farther and still answering the question, again, even as Mahek put it, not only does he intend to pay, at least he's put that out formally, but also that he intends to appeal, yet still answering that question in such a volatile way, Bill.
Well, yeah, and I'd say this, Mahek's right. This is certainly going to be appealed. We haven't heard the end of this yet. And the Attorney General's comments may be premature. But listen, she's playing to a bunch of different audiences. In one way, it cuts against Mahek's argument that business owners are leaving New York. This targeting of Trump makes it safe for them, right? This was Trump. This isn't them. There aren't victims here. And it's going to be an interesting case when it goes to the appeal to talk about what restitution looks like and to whom. The facts are here, though, there's two audiences. There's a political one out there, and people are divided about what this means. And then there's a legal audience. And legal audience is the Court of Appeals now. And they're going to have the say on what happens next. And they're going to have the say, respectfully, not Letitia James and not Donald Trump, on who's paying and how they're paying and when they're paying. So, for me, people are decided politically. I'm looking at this political side now as a lawyer. I don't think this helps or hurts Donald Trump, to be honest with you. I think the polls are showing that. I'm more interested in what's ultimately going to be the resolution on the legal side here, and what a court of appeals does in our justice system to look at the merits of this case.
Yeah. And again, that was the civil trial. So distinction, of course, from the criminal trial, which he's also facing in New York, that having to do with the alleged payments made to Stormy Daniels. Alvin Bragg's sort of behind that one. It's a lot to keep track of. But Melanie, to Bill's point, Donald Trump doesn't seem to be impacted negatively in the polls. Do you anticipate going forward that to remain a constant trend?
I think it will continue to be a trend. I think people are really angry about what's going on here. Letitia James just seems to be really hateful and spiteful, like she's a jaded ex-girlfriend or something. It's really like her hate and energy is super weird to be an objective attorney general. That's what I find weird. I popped over to the website that talks about conduct for attorney generals, judges, etc. And the number one thing is you're supposed to be very impartial. She clearly is not, nor was this judge. So, you know, I don't think it's ultimately going to go anywhere. Hopefully it'll get turned over.
All right. Great discussion. Again, appreciate everyone coming on today. Mehak Cook, Bill Caruso, and Melanie Collette.